Hi, everyone. Welcome to the fourth Sunday of Advent. We're almost there to Christmas. And I hope you're all preparing. You're having a great Advent, making room in our lives and surrendering to the coming of Jesus. And today's gospel, I don't know about you, it's always bugged me. And if you've heard me give homilies, you know where I stand on this. I stand in the more traditional, maybe minority report review, however you'd say it, about today's gospel, because it doesn't make a whole lot of sense unless, this is crazy, like Mary and Joseph communicated with each other. Okay, and what we can get from that automatically, I'll explain it in a second, is a lot of the anger, resentment, even hatred in our life. We're separated from family members and friends. A lot of it just does have to do, couples especially, like it has to do with a lack of communication, and sometimes we have to communicate things which are really uncomfortable. And the initial talks that we have to have, the initial meetings they're going to be painful, right? But we need to know that we need to do that to grow in a relationship. And rough times are just going to come if we're going to grow in a deeper relationship with family and friends. So let's just have Mary and Joseph as our example for this. And Mary's got a tough thing she's got to talk to Joseph about, right? She has become pregnant by the power of the Holy Spirit. Okay. And she told Joseph, that's indicated in the text. And then it says, because Joseph was a righteous man, yet unwilling to expose her to shame, he decided to divorce her quietly. Okay. We have a problem reading this as a 21st century audience, thinking, well, of course, he's just going to divorce her quietly. He doesn't want to, get involved or whatever. And so he's doing the nice thing and divorcing her quietly. No, it says that Joseph is a righteous man. For a first century Jew who has been occupied by all these foreign forces, and someone who lives according to the faith in Israel. If a spouse has, and remember, there's those two levels of marriage. So they are married, betrothed, but they have not come together as man and wife, right? If a spouse cheats on you, not only is that attack against you, that's also attack against the community, which is Israel and God. And the whole reason that Israel is in the deep trouble that it's in is because of people's unfaithfulness. So if Joseph is a righteous man by first century Jewish standards, he would have her stoned. And we think today, it's just like, no, that's terrible. No. Again, this is the 21st century, but back then, that's what a righteous man would have done. Okay. So seeing how he's not doing that, it must be that they communicated with each other. And she told him what happened, and he believed. Okay. There's all these messianic expectations going on anyway. All right. And there's a lot of stuff that's not in the scriptures, but still a part of a small T tradition that people knew Mary was special. Okay, she spent her time since she was a young child in the temple. Okay, and then she was entrusted to Joseph. So whether or not you hold to that, everyone knew that she was special. The Messiah was coming, and so Joseph, being a righteous man, a humble man, he is saying, "I'm quietly divorcing her because I am not worthy to be in the presence of the Ark of the Covenant." Because Mary's the new Ark of the Covenant. Now she is the one in whom God dwells. All right. So he is slowly just exiting from the scene. He's like, this is going to need something big, and I'm not big. Okay. This is humility. However, an angel has to appear to him in a dream to say, Joseph, God has chosen you. Don't look at yourself as you see you, but look at yourself as God sees. It's your very humility that makes you the right man for this job. Okay? And so then he takes Mary into his own home. However, they do not have relations ever. Okay? Because she is the Ark of the Covenant. Okay? She is pregnant with the child of God. She is the spouse of the Holy Spirit. He is her earthly spouse, but she is the spouse of the Holy Spirit. And so that's why they remain chaste as a couple. Okay. So this, I think, is a bit more of a faithful rendering of what's going on today. and that they had to communicate a lot and they had to pray a lot so that they could understand the situation, even though I'm sure some of those conversations were not the easiest. And so what that brings us to in our, where does this have to do with me? It's like, am I communicating to the people I need to communicate to, even though it might be a really tough conversation? Okay. I might be misunderstood. I might have to give up some of my pride. Am I communicating with God about those things that maybe I don't want to communicate to him about? Okay. Communication. Prayer is a form of communication. And if we're not doing it, we're not communicating with God. And that's a real problem because it's Advent. And in this new year for Catholics, our new year started in Advent. We have given ourselves over to Jesus completely. And so we want to communicate with this God so that one day we may see him in heaven face to face.